Hello, and welcome to the stream. I am joined again this week, fortunately, with my friend, the spicy one, Mr. Jalapeno. How are we, sir?
Good morning, mate. I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, it's a fun day. Not really done much trading today. Waiting for FOMC. I think like everyone else sitting on their hands, but yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy week, hasn't it? With
Yeah.
Bitcoin and crypto and gold. It's yeah. How have you been finding it?
Quite difficult. I've had a couple of trades this week, but nothing major. I think market is simply waiting for Powell today
Yeah,
before we sort of start to get any sort of structure back. That's my opinion, anyway. What about you?
yeah, I think so too. I think everyone's sort of just waiting for that little hint of a rate cut before doing anything. It just feels like everything's. I think the word's probably stale, isn't it? I think we're just having sort of these very sort of weird moves. I think there's yeah, it's just a lot of sort of volatility, but volatility within a range.
Yeah.
It's not really been the easiest thing to trade, and I think certainly on altcoins, like it's a case of don't even look at them. It's quite depressing, isn't it, on some of them?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. All kinds are. It literally, like last week, we were saying about in May how these things they gained like really strong weekly levels and things were looking bullish, and then they lost them again like 3 days
yeah,
later. And I think we've had exactly the same scenario, unfortunately,
yeah,
this week.
yeah, yeah. It's just up and down, isn't it? I think in all honesty, the 100x on altcoins was probably just like long in them and then selling at the local tops,
Yeah.
rather than sort of any sort of big blow off, because we're just trading in a range here at this point.
Yeah.
Whilst VCs slowly bleed them out.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, like when the prices have been so low for so long, and we know that most people, retail people, my camera's not focusing for some reason. Most people like us in the retail world haven't really had the funds or the money to buy more when we've wanted to.
Hmm.
So then who has been accumulating? Well, it's people that already control the supply. Uh,
Yeah.
so you have to ask yourself, how is that going to go down in the future when retail get back to break even or they start getting in profits? Because the big boys have already got the cash.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's yeah. I'm just watching if it what's this Bitcoin now, and we are just retracing back to this very interesting level. We've got Steve in the chat. This is a question actually that I'd been meaning to ask you: is where did the name jalapeno come from? I dropped it for this, but like, where did the name jalapeno come from?
Um, Quite literally, I just because I like Mexican food. Um, but growing up, I've got an older brother, and growing up, he was like big into his gaming and used to play SOCOM on PS2 back when you could
Okay.
buy that big black box and you glued it onto the back of your PS2 and you could get online and stuff. His name was always Mr. Pickle, and like I don't know, so I started ripping on Mr. Pickle and using Mr. Pickle, but then I thought I need something myself. But pickle, jalapeno, some similarities there, and I thought I was just going to stick with jalapeno. And then before I know it, people just started calling me Hala. So Hala it became.
Yeah,
We
it's
look
a
to
good
be,
pseudonym. It's a
we
good
look to be.
pseudonym, isn't it?
I think we've been raided by.
I was just about to
Bitcoin.
say that. I won't name the coin, but they can continue to raid if they want. All engagement is good engagement.
True. It should be
Yeah, I
supermarket. Should be supermarket.
should be soul season.
So,
Um,
yes.
if we're gonna raid. Yeah, I mean, so what's been catching your eye then? I assume probably not much focus on crypto at the minute. Has it been gold for you? Has it been anything else?
Shall I? Let me see if I can share. I haven't looked at charts today, so we can start
Fresh
fresh.
eyes. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me find. Uh, can I share? Select. Share. So if I just
There we are.
hide. So
Hide your tabs.
hide your tabs. You've got to verify your ID now if you want to go on any naughty websites in the UK.
Yeah.
So gold. When was midnight? Midnight here. So pretty much since midnight. Why is this not doing it? We have had. Come on, play ball. Play ball. It doesn't want to put a vertical line on. So yeah. So since and now it's got. Oh, flipping heck.
Oh.
Let's use it one. Yeah, so we've just been ranging pretty much on gold. So I've had a brief look at the chart, and this is just typical like accumulation. So I'm pretty much I think news is going to be the thing today. I don't think we're going to have much market structure until we get the news.
No.
But if I was to look at what catches my eye, we've pretty much got relative equal highs up here, and then relative equal lows. I favor the upside just because if we look at the 4 hour, I think we are. I think we will go up and then down, and I know that sounds not very useful, but we've basically had almost a full market structure shift down here. So I favor the downside because we've got more equal lows to target. So there's plenty of buy stops down there, and then you've also got this bit of liquidity zone down here. So there's plenty of liquidity to grab, and I think that if we're gonna be looking at coming back up to the highs up here, it needs to take something. It needs to grab some fuel from somewhere, and I think that's down here. So I'm bearish overall, but in the short term, I think in order to get that move down, what we will probably see is I think I have some lipstick on this one. I do when I get rid of the link to the stream. Yeah, so I've marked it out already. We've got Asia session high, buy side up here with the relative equal highs, and then just above that, if we go to the 15-minute, is fair value gap and an order block. So, and this is one of my this is a bit of giving some secret sauce away now, but this is one of my favorite models to trade. Is the relative equal highs that then we basically smash through them and hit into a higher time frame point of interest, which is what I'm kind of hoping for up here with that order block. So, and then that's when we go short, because this is basically retail traders look at this and go, oh, this is resistance. Look, we've rejected from it 3 times. And basically the longer that idea builds up, the more I just want to see it get taken out.
Yeah. Straight through.
So that would be for me. That would be a nice short. So that's what I'm watching on that. Key times of the day for me: 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. That's usually sort of what New York kill zone time. Half an hour after market open in New York. So yeah, I don't know. What's your thoughts on gold?
I mean, I've been doing a little bit of trading on it. I've been mainly sort of, for me, it was all about that sort of 3.324 level, and sort of the propulsion we had off there. I'm of a similar persuasion to you. I would love to see sort of that top side of the range broken through and then send it back down. Yeah, I think it all hinges on the Fed, doesn't it? And it's I don't really know what to expect from it. Well, I do. no cuts, but it's what he says in terms of the state of the US economy and where that leaves everything. But
yeah,
I think,
definitely. I think it's currently for me it's no trade, just because there's no structure here. You've got the bear, we've had this move up, and then we've had the bearish change of character here, but then we've gone straight back up, slowly ground down, back up again. We haven't really achieved anything here. Like this high goes a bit higher than here, but it doesn't really take or achieve anything. So I think it's just accumulation before a nice manipulation up at some point, and then hopefully we'll get that distribution down.
Yeah, agree. That should be good. I think you've seen a little bit of that price action on silver as well. Silver's sort of had a lot of that sort of consolidation and then downward price action.
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't. Do you trade in silver then? I think you said you.
A little bit. There was a setup today that I think worked for me, because I had that range. That range mapped out with those liquidation wicks underneath it. And so my thesis was that if we got back below that level of support, that we'd then plunge and take out those wicks.
Yeah. Well, I think you bang on there, mate. And if we just apply, so I can see here, where's my fair value gap? If we bring that over to the right, it's exactly the same model that we've just discussed. With you've got your relative equal lows, and that is textbook. So yeah, very nice spot. So from here, I've not looked at it on a higher time frame, but we can already see this is untested up here. It's untested. We've grabbed some fuel, and it's just this chop down here is literally just attacking all these buy stops. So you would probably expect, hopefully now, some structure back up to the upside.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've also just looked at my chart, and what we were saying before on stream about that cocoa short.
Yeah,
it hit to the cent where we said.
Yeah, very nice.
I'm just having a lot of fun trading commodities at the minute. I think for me, crypto is just a bit of a mess. I've been trading some equities, but equities are just a mess as well. I think at the minute, I feel like we're about to have the rollover on some of those.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Bitcoin now. So if we look at, other than that line that I've just deleted, this has not been touched since last Wednesday when we were on.
Yeah.
So we were on stream when price was here, and we said, didn't we? We said at that time you had relative equal lows down here, pretty much.
Yeah, and then that fuel underneath.
Yeah, and that's literally exactly what we had. The thing is, and again, if we go to the daily, I don't know what your thoughts are, but
I think we're coming back for more.
Yeah, and as long as we hold, I'm just going to zoom right in here because I know the problem. Well, not problem, but a lot of people in crypto, they don't really look at the higher time frame stuff. Because I know when we were coming down here, people were getting a bit tetchy and panicking. But the thing is, the daily candle that day still closed above this.
Yeah, just wicks.
Yeah, so the fact that we closed up there was a good sign, and we are still closing above that line. In fact, obviously, looks like we've retested it this morning. So again, if this line, as long as this line holds, I think we are safe.
Yeah.
From any downside. The problem that you've got is if that doesn't hold, where's it going to go? Well, yeah, you've got this big void here. So whether it's then going to come fill that in, overside retest, that kind of area. What's that? About 111,500.
It feels too easy a trade though. That it feels like I don't know, from a sort of non-technical analysis point of view.
Yeah,
it feels like, when we had that dump in the tariffs and everyone was waiting for 68k and we went to 72 and then sent. It feels very similar to that in the fact that everyone's waiting for that sort of 112 and below.
Yeah. Well, you can see that's pretty much where I've got my alert.
Yeah. I'll bid that zone. If you want to hand it to me, but it feels too easy a trade.
I think my alert is there because I believe there's an order block on the 4 hour. Yeah. So yeah, I know what you mean. That feels like too easy of a trade. But you can see that just that last tiny red candle before we've had this massive impulse. That is there. We know that there are orders there. We don't need to look at a liquidity heat map. We don't need to look at liquidation maps or anything to know that this area here will be absolutely haggard with buy orders. But then, like you say, does that then, because this institutional money can just cancel their orders just like that, and get people just let the price keep going down. So you just never know.
Yeah, agree. And I think what a lot of people don't know as well is for the institutional orders is obviously you'll have some of them that will execute it themselves, but a lot of it is done through Wintermute and people like that. And obviously they have a fantastic system of getting the price to buy where they want to buy for those customers. And I think if you can sort of see when the institutional money comes, people like Sailor, you can see on the chart where Sailor's buying. The institutional money is a little bit smarter, and I think you see a lot of accumulation when you have these wicks down. Like that wick from Galaxy, because that was what that liquidation wick was. That was Galaxy offloading $9 billion or whatever, wasn't it? You can bet your bottom dollar that, I don't want to say it, but I assume there's probably a lot of institutional market makers who had orders set at that level to walk it back up.
And that is exactly why. So my sort of style of trading on crypto has changed a lot recently, because to basically be a bit more of how we trade forex and gold and commodities and indexes and stuff is because that's the type of money that you've got in Bitcoin now. So simple, I don't trade patterns, but patterns that would have played out in the past. You've got all the sort of general support and resistance retail ideas that we used to work a lot more on crypto don't work as much anymore, and that's because that type of money that you're talking about, smart money, is they're targeting buy stops and sell stops. And where does that sort of stuff rest? Well, it's above and below old highs and old lows.
Agree.
So like you say, it might be, like you say, this feels a bit too easy of a trade, and you've got to ask yourself, well, where does the true liquidity lie? Well, it's below here, and it's below there, and it's always reaching for somewhere. It's never random. It's always, price is always reaching for somewhere. It's just a case of which one. So yeah, I think that's a very valid point.
And it does. I don't know. The more I look at it, it does feel like we're sort of in that. Do you want to give them a chance? Because even now, if you take out that Galaxy 9 billion dump, then I would say that's pretty consolidating. It's choppy, but it's consolidating. And I look at that and I don't see an immediate sign of downside on it.
Yeah.
Um,
I would agree, and I mean, just out of interest, how do you do the date thing? Is it that one? Is it this one? This one? Yeah, I think it's this one. So if we have a look at the date range and see how long have we. So Friday the 11th. So if we just take that across, and we can say, so we've been in this range now for 19 days. It doesn't feel like 19 days, but yeah, I mean, Friday the 11th is when we sort of landed in this range. And if you take that to sort of 111 to 98 range, so how long? And you wonder, like, how long were we in this range for? That was about. I mean, that's 48 days, so that was a substantially longer, but
yeah,
maybe
not as bad as last summer's range of death.
no, that was a long range. I think yeah, we'll move. I mean, you can see these pockets of accumulation where they've happened in the past. So this was February this year. That was 19 days. This one here was 14 days. This one here again was 14 days. So I think we'll move soon because Price got no reason to stay here anymore because it's mitigated orders on.
It's collected everything it needed to collect.
Yeah, it's just whether we go up or down.
Yeah. Eagerly await. Not that I've been doing much trading of Bitcoin, I must say. Been more on the commodities and the stock front, but I would like to see some movement, particularly sort of that blow off top on Bitcoin, and then that rollover into ETH.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, ETH recovered quite well since we've been on stream. I was eyeing up a long on it, but it's come back because I had a back test that I was looking at 3,750.
Yeah.
And it's come and collected that one.
Very nice.
Well, I didn't take the trade. That's the Sol's really interesting as well. I was looking at that, and Sol, I had sort of 176 as a buy zone for Sol marked out, and it has bounced off 176.46.
Yeah, I'm just looking there now. It's I mean, I actually got stopped out on Solana. Maybe if can I show this again? I think this is what we presented last week anyway, but again, these were. I think I said I was playing it safe and going for the weekly levels. And obviously, the close that we had last week was above this sort of 183 level, so I had some confidence in that level, and then on Sunday again we closed above there on the daily. So on the retest on Monday of that 183 level, I actually went long.
Okay, yeah,
got stopped out. So yeah, where do you? So you said 176, and we've had the bounce.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Solana then, Wiz?
Let me just get my chart back up. So I think for me, I've not got much drawn on this particular one because I don't want to give my game plan away. But that's on the 15. We're not that degenerate. We'll go on to the daily. So I had something like this marked up. So I was looking back for a retest of this zone here.
Yeah.
And sort of where we land in it. I think I was looking at if we lost this like 173, I think you're then in the bit where you're probably then looking for your next level of support down here.
Yeah.
And then worst comes to worst after that, you're then into sort of like no man's land down here, and whether we come back and revisit sort of 145.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
It's gonna hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, Sol just feels. I don't know. I feel like Sol feels a little bit lost. In all honesty, like we're sort of in a bit of. I don't really know like what the future holds for it, because obviously you're seeing the ETH movement back, and it's not managed to hold 189, which was previously sort of quite a strong SR level.
Yeah.
You sort of had the break above, and we just had like that really sharp rejection back down without even, especially given that there wasn't a whole lot above it here.
Yeah.
I also like this, for me, is my sell zone of anything I've got. If we go above, I don't want to be holding anything up here, because the amount of like Trump coin people who are trapped in Sol around here, like the sell wall here will be massive. So I'd probably be of the persuasion that we'd come up, tickle here, maybe go back, and then if we were to do this, it would be sort of a really aggressive breakthrough, potentially up to here.
Yeah.
But I struggle to see a world where Solana is worth more than $300 odd.
Yeah.
I just don't see. I just don't see sort of some of the use case of it. Like Sui as well as another one that I just have no interest in. I know Sui's gotten all the hype, but like I don't know, like Sui, unless it gives me an entrance on Sui like back down here,
yeah,
I'm just not interested, because there's just not really the upside to play. I think like unless it sort of came back and tested like this region down here, I just see it as just too much risk.
Yeah.
Like, where's the risk reward on this? Like, we run up to where we were pre-Trump, $5. It's less than a 2x.
Yeah.
On something that you know that there's going to be a lot of people who are trapped here. You're going to have a lot of people who are desperate to get out who have bought here. Considering I bought Sui like down here. I mean, I did offload it like here.
That is a great entry.
I know, it was our man K, who was strongly advising it in this period here, at the Hacker House and then at Zebu. And Zebu, we were actually all the way up here, so I was sitting on quite a nice bit of profit. But yeah, he was this down here. I think I even had a buy price, I think, of like 60 cents, something like that. So yeah, it was like this region here. Annoying, really, because I sort of should have held it to up here, but I was getting out here, got out here and here.
You got out in profit, mate. That's all that matters.
I know, exactly. More can be said for some of the other alts I'm in, but and then BNB's another one, like
all-time high last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, like the thing is you know that this thing will pretty much always go up in some direction. Because it's just so centralized and so much of it is owned. I don't ever use BNB. I don't have a reason.
It's BSC chain, isn't it?
Yeah, I have no reason to use BSC chain. Like, even again, it's like Sol. I don't know where it sits, because it's, if you're trying to play that fast and cheap bit, it's not the fastest, it's not the cheapest. And the same thing with like Sui and stuff like that is you're then relying on high amounts of throughput, and I don't think the throughput's there, because I think, in all honesty, the institutional money and throughput will end up on ETH, or it'll end up on an Ethereum layer 2.
Yeah.
Tron's another one. Like I know Justin Sun is just buying the hell out of this, but like that's just
that's a chart. Tron, and there was another one beginning with T. Was it TRB?
Ton. Was it Ton?
Could one of them. Tron looks
Telegram.
manipulated to hell, and then
If
it's not Ton, it could be TRB. I think that is also manipulated to hell.
That is just a sad chart, isn't it?
It is sad, but that looks all right. Don't mind something like that.
What was the name? What was the name?
Check out TRB. I think that one looks just as horrendous.
This one.
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you put that on, yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think it was like New Year's Eve 2023. It just pumped up to like $700 or something stupid.
Christmas Day. Christmas Day.
It's obviously never. I don't know what happened then.
Someone got a good Christmas present, I imagine. Offloading everything up here and giving a shot.
Someone bought TRB at $700. I mean, I couldn't even dream about that.
No, it's just awful. And then like stuff like this. I'd love to see this roll over and go back to here.
XRP does not belong up that high.
No.
But then you've also got to say, well, this coin has accumulated for like the past 7 years, so
yeah,
it was pains me to say it, but it was probably going to happen at some point.
Yeah, like this. I'd just love to see your alt season will begin when this thing distributes.
Yeah,
because
when the XRP holders realize that there are other assets out there to buy.
Yeah. And Tron's really interesting. I was saying this to Dave because obviously it's going to have its stock market listing, hasn't it?
Yes.
It's been doing well.
Yeah, very well.
People to trade inside of ISAs, which I think that's what I've been saying that to Ross. I mean, like if you've got like money in an ISA, why would you get it out and put it into the wild west of self-custody and crypto when you can just buy a tax advantaged system? If I was trading this, I'd probably want an entry like down here.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll go back to here. But yeah, it's just and then altcoins are just like really sad. Like tell me that isn't manipulated.
Well, it 100% is. It is a wild west, like you say. I think. What was I looking at before?
This one's worrying. So I really like this, and it sort of had been threatening to break out. But if it loses that level there, that's it's a long way down.
I might have an idea for the stream trade.
Okay, I'm all ears. That is a criminal chart.
Is that tier? I do like tier, but it's still. It looks a bit like Cosmos Atom.
Yeah,
that looks like I know that's a Dino coin, but that looks nice because that's still been daily accumulation.
I shorted Bonk the other day. That's played out quite well. Look at that. That is just a rollover and a half, isn't it? Like someone was saying, "Oh, is Bonk along good here?" And I was like, "Mate, like,
no,
get off of the 1 hour chart, right?
Yeah,
and tell me that because I think it was here. Like, tell me that is a good place to long something with no value because the only thing you've got above that is wicks, and then that." Like, ideally, you'd be looking like here.
It's just pure longing the top, isn't it? People that are looking at charts that are already up 10-20, or in Bonk's case, is it like 60% or something?
Yeah, it's like The
at
time
least.
to long it was like last month there.
Yeah.
'Cause now,
It doesn't
now
take much, and as well because we're coming into FOMO season, so there will be people out there that will experience FOMO and they'll just want to get in for the sake of getting in. But you can still just the higher time frame is king, always will be.
Yeah.
Like that move on Bitcoin we were talking about when we came down
Yeah.
to 100 and whatever it was, and people thought it was all over. It's people that won't just look at the daily chart, just wait for the daily to close. Like it's patience, just wait. If we close below, then yeah, fair enough. You might look at going short, but we didn't, so there was no need to do anything.
Tell you what, I am short on though. I'm short on hype. I was saying to Ross, obviously, I'm quite a hyperliquid bull, but I took a short up at 48. And this
Very
feels
nice.
like primed to roll into here.
Do you like their exchange?
I do, yeah. It's an interesting one. It's a good exchange. I mean, obviously, like you can't trade like big leverage on it, and it's one of those where it's not as good as a centralized exchange in terms of UI and experience and options, etc. However, like I like the idea of a decentralized exchange, and it's the best one. And I think the API integration is really good in the fact that you can build you could build your own exchange and just use the Hyperliquid order book through an API integration.
That is quite cool.
Yeah. What are you feeling for the stream trade then?
Let's see if I can pull it up. See if it wants to do it. So
let me just put you on the screen.
We have here Haba.
Okay, nice.
4 hour trend is still up. Blah, blah. So I'm looking at where we are on the 4 hour now. And if I box out the tops of these candles here to the bottoms of those, and I take that off, I think this is a good area to look at, potentially not financial advice, but going long.
What down? Yeah, in this region here.
Yeah, so assuming the trend is still up, I would expect this because you can see this zone here. The only time we've spent in it is when we've had candle up, no consolidation in that zone, candle straight through, no consolidation, candle straight up, no consolidation. And now we're starting to get some candle closures in this zone. So I would expect something like that. And then target wise, obviously this is probably more of a swing trade.
Yeah.
But targets wise, you're going to have buy side liquidity up there, and then sort of after that, assuming it still starts performing quite well, you're probably looking at 32, and then you sort of back into Christmas, January, December highs.
Okay, right. So I think that calls for a limit order then, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
So if we limit bid it, only gives us 5x leverage, but that's fine if we are swinging. Swinging as in trading, not swinging as in I assume people are. Yeah. I don't know why the chart's gone on here. So what price did we have for the limit?
So the bottom of this zone that I've got is the top of this candle here. So it's around 0.249. Well, to be exact, 0.249494.
Yeah.
And then I would imagine it's, and that's also kind of the top of this.
Where do we have our invalidation zone then? I can't see your chart from.
Well, if it closes below the entry price, we've consolidated here. So your invalidation will be down here somewhere, because if you close below sort of this low here, it's further down, 0.231519.
2-3.
Which is quite wide, but this is a 4 hour.
Yeah, it's a 30% move. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, or looking at the 1 hour, maybe somewhere around 2394.
2394. Yeah, so 20%. And then we were looking at 0.32, weren't we?
Yeah, and I think, and I'm going to hate myself for it, but I'm going to draw a fib. I'm going to draw a fib. Yeah, it lines up with the fibs. It's currently at 70.5% retracement. So, I market structure wise, I think that this will be the high low. I think sentiment's shifting though. I think people are moving over to shorts.
Yeah, which means that people will then get their tops blown off.
Yes.
Because as we've seen before, people are bullish, then the market makers will bring the price down. People will think, oh, I'm going to short here, and they are too late to be shorting.
Yep.
And then they will get their tops blown right off. And it will be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Confirm in my MetaMask.
Whoever's market making gold is very impressive today. They've like engineered so many longs and so many shorts. It's putting in another equal low now.
Is it? Let me.
I'm looking on the 5 minute. But
that is honestly that range. I wish I was trading it today. It's like the easiest day you'll get to trade gold.
I mean, do we put a long on? It's too risky now because there's so many buy stops that are going to be sitting under here. I wouldn't trust the market not to come and hunt for them.
Yeah. Where would you be looking then for sort of that stink bid? Would you be looking sort of down at like 3319?
Let's have a look. So when we have the equal lows, I try and find a higher time frame point of interest just below where we could get a reaction from. Where that would be, it's quite hard to decipher because we've just on the 1 hour we've just compressed. On the 4 hour, we've got this. Let me just delete that vertical line. 4 hour, there is that order block there, but it has been at least 75% of that has gone. So I'd kind of look for any other fair value gaps that might be loitering around. But to be honest, this range looks pretty well dealt with. And now I can see that price is now sweeping below the Asia session low. So to be honest, it could go lower. Yesterday's low was 3308, so it could well want to come down and take that. What's your thoughts?
I'm similar. I'm on the 15-minute here, so I'm quite zoomed in. I don't think we come out and take out Monday's low of 3301.
Nope.
And I'd be very surprised if we came back and tested that 3308. I'd potentially probably be looking at like 3314 down to maybe like 3310.
Yeah. Damien saying we've got news soon, so this could well be the because it could be
the liquidation before the news, couldn't it?
But like if you look at all these candles here, just look at the construction of them. There is no fair value gaps to the downside. So that's quite concerning. And then if you obviously, let's say, I'm just freeballing it here, but we've obviously got some sell side liquidity down here. That's at 3301. Gold does like round numbers as well. So if you're thinking about 300, you've obviously you're going to have buy stops under here. And then last time, so I think even then there's no fair value gaps. There is one down here. 3286. This is just on the 15 minute. So if I can spot maybe there is a little bit of, it's on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, but if you look at this kind of potentially this gap between the bottom of these candles and the tops of these candles, and roll that out to the right, it should sit just below those lows, which it does. That is around 3307 as an area possibly we could bounce. The other thing we could do is put a fib on it. I'm not a massive fan of fibs, but then again, you think about market makers, they've got to work with. They have to work within something.
Some sort of framework.
So we're sat 62% on the 4 hour minute, which you can see previously has given some really nice reactions. But yeah, volatile days, aren't they? When there's news and things like that.
This is a day to sit back and wait.
Yeah. What news have we got? Have we got something before?
Because FOMC's tonight, isn't it? But let's have a look. Forex factory.
So some CAD news in an hour. We have got some orange folder stuff at 3. It's home sales, though I don't expect that's going to have any sort of impact. And then you've also got FOMC 7.
You've got the Canadian stuff. Yeah. And then President Trump speaks at 9 p.m. today.
Is he back home now?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, because we've just had news, haven't we, on that? I imagine that's what that silver candle's from, is we had non-farm employment change, US.
I see.
Which came in forecast 77k, came in at 104. So that's better than expected employment numbers.
Right.
Which explains the drop. Which is probably a prelude potentially to tonight.
Yeah. You can also see if we take this candle, this looks to be quite a nice zone, but it looks like price is going through it.
It's a falling knife at this point, isn't it?
Yeah. So interesting. Previous daily low around 3308. Yes, sir. We have that there, so we'll be watching there. We've got that fair value. Well, not fair value gap, but we've got that price void further down. What else can we look at? What else do you fancy, Wiz?
Did you catch any of the action on copper over the last couple of days? I closed mine. I closed my short too early. It hit TP, but that's been playing around at an interesting level.
You had a nice short as well, didn't you, the other day? What is?
Yeah, I had a short, but I closed it just before like the biggest capitulation wick you'll ever see. I'm still. So the ticker is. I've just got copper, so I've got the pepperstone shot. No, it's just copper. I've got. So I've got the pepperstone one.
XCU. There it is.
XCU.
I'm assuming you're referring to this.
Yeah. Yeah. Our friend and mentor, Mr. Block Pro, had the short open and left it as a runner.
I love it. I mean, you gotta wonder, like, how do you catch? I guess it was bearish to begin with on the 5 minute, and then
I'd looked at what I'd looked at for. I shared my chart and Block Pro said we had the same chart. He didn't confirm if we had the same idea, but I was looking. So if we go back to Monday, so Monday morning, is that I was looking for a retest of 5.7398.
Yeah.
And we came back, clipped it, rejected off, and then subsequently lost the 4-hour level, the 8-hour level, and then the big one came when we lost the 4-hour level at 56689.
Yeah.
All my levels were bang on though, because we went down and we came back, and then we started sitting on my 8-hour level at 5.5433.
Very nice.
I take solace in the fact that all of my levels were bang on. And I was in the same trade as Mr. Block Pro, but I didn't hold on to it, unfortunately.
It's still a good trade, mate, nevertheless.
Yeah, it's an interesting one now, though, because you're seeing that sort of consolidation. It pushed up to sort of close some of that drop.
Yeah.
You've got to think at some point it's going to come after that liquidation wick.
Yeah.
And below that liquidation wick is like a massive gap down to 4.9. So obviously that's the Trump tariff run.
Yeah. It's not something I've traded, copper. But now that I always get FOMO when I see you trading one of these fancy tickers, and I always want to jump on it.
Good old chocolate. I think copper's a good one, because I think it moves. If you sort of used to sort of trading like gold and silver, etc., it's just it's very similar. Same with platinum. Is just you sort of have those ranges, but yeah, it's the weird stuff that I quite like. Like cocoa is just like, that thing is just nuts.
You've had some good trades on melting chocolate, haven't you?
Yeah, like just the size of the candles on it though is massive. So I've been doing a lot of my trading on it on like 10-20x leverage rather than sort of going 100x. It's a bit same with orange juice. Like orange juice is a bit too volatile to be doing 100x on.
Yeah.
Considering you're getting like 6 or 7% moves. What else?
Just looking at NQ, and this is going to wreck so many people today. You can just see we've got relative equal highs at the top, so everybody's short here, thinking that this is now a resistance. Relative equal lows, people thinking that this is support. That's going to get full. And then we've also got a new day open. Is that yesterday's? Yeah, no, it was today's. Today's new day opening gap down here that hasn't even been touched yet, really. So I would expect potentially we'll come probably not trade into the whole gap. We'll probably trade about 75% in.
Yeah.
If we're going up, that is. Obviously we might go down, in which case we will just blast out these equal highs. There's a few, or at least on the 5 minute, you've got some big fair value gap up here, resting above there. So quite possibly come up, tap that, and then back down. Just getting to that time of day really where it's time to start looking at the New Yorkie stuff.
Yeah, it's I've got a couple of positions on stocks at the minute that I've been looking at. CoreWeave is one. It's been a painful week for CoreWeave because I bought quite a few options for 120 options last week.
Yeah.
Hoping that we'd sort of get that bounce and solidify at that. Instead, we sort of bounced this bottom level. So lost a little bit. I'm down on those, but that is. Although I did catch the macro bottom on this. I had a back test at 106.8, and we had a bounce off that.
Very nice.
What else do I have? I'm hoping this rolls over because I bought some downside on Snowflake.
Yeah.
Just felt really sort of make or break toppy for me. So I've got I don't think it'll come in time, but I've got a 210 put for this week, which I don't think I'll get. But ultimately, I think like once it loses that level, you're probably then looking down here. Did you see this one? The company that announced a B&B treasury and did 800% in a day.
B&B treasury. I didn't even know about that. No.
Yeah, they announced a B&B treasury.
I just love when you can see all the degenerate crypto money suddenly flows into like professional institutions. It just goes.
It's a broccoli company that announced that they were doing B&B treasury. I mean, like a B&B treasury, like what? What are you getting out of that? I've got some West stuff here. I landed a nice win this week though. I bought some Rocket Lab shorts.
Yeah.
I bought some puts. So I bought last week. So it was where's the Friday candle? Bought Friday there. And so I had this marked out. I pulled they expired this Friday, so I pulled the trigger a little bit too early. But I mean, this could retrace to here quite easily.
Yeah.
The weekly looks even scarier. Like if you're in that on the weekly, like you're probably looking for hopes and dreams down here.
Yeah.
So
Do you think the hopes and dreams will come?
No, I think the hopes and dreams will get crushed.
That's what we like.
Yeah, there's just so much rubbish on here. Like that.
Bitmine.
Yeah, so that's Tom Lee's company. I actually quite like this. I've been chatting to Dave about this, XYZ. And I think this, like, from a chart perspective, looks quite good. The only issue is now that it's like rejected and not made that level, you're probably looking sort of down here for a level of support.
Yeah.
Ethereum treasury company. This is just like degenerate stuff. Like people are trading options on this.
Is that a weekly chart?
Yeah.
What on earth?
The daily's even more nuts.
Do you ever trade any of the Mag 7 type stuff?
No, not particularly. I know a few people do Nvidia. Like for me, I mean, like that's topped out. I'm in a long on AMD at the minute because when we had that dump last week, I've been of the persuasion for a while that I think AMD will begin to outperform Nvidia as Nvidia tops out. AMD 3-month return is 91%, which feels nuts to say. whereas Nvidia is 68. So you're seeing a lot more of the AMD outperformance, and I think you'll start to see some more capital flow over from there onto here.
Yeah, like a rotation type thing.
Yeah. What's this do? I'm in a short on this thing. I don't know what this thing was, but I fancied being degenerate yesterday and saw that.
Listen, look good. I can't even remember who else is in the Mag 7. Obviously, you've got Alphabet, which is Google, right?
Yeah. So you've got so if we go through, so you had Meta reported earnings yesterday.
So I'm assuming they weren't great.
Well, they're up in pre-market, but it sold off really aggressively yesterday. Like you've had about a $24 sell-off.
Yeah,
and it's made back $4. Apple have results this week. Apple obviously sold off quite aggressively as well.
Yeah.
Apple, you're looking quite worrying now. I actually, from a fundamental point of view as well, I'd be worried if I was Apple, because I think, like, where do they fit in the landscape? Like, phones are flatlining. They're behind on AI.
Yeah.
Tesla, I mean, this thing's just sad, isn't it?
I mean, what? I mean, it's an interesting one, that, and I never even thought of it. But yeah, I guess Apple has probably gone from being like one of the giants to now, like you say, all the AI competition, and
they were just so far behind AI.
You probably got to ask yourself as well, like, if you're someone who needs to use AI, or you want to build with AI, are you going to turn to OS, like, iOS, to do that? Probably not.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
See, gold looks to have found a floor, by the way.
Did it?
Well, we've stopped. We had the sell side liquidity marked out at 3311.3, and it's literally.
Oh, okay. I wanted to trade on that.
Well, I'm watching. I've got the 1 minute up.
I would.
So if we see a reaction that we like, we could maybe have another stream trade. But at the minute, it's not showing any sign that it's done.
No. To 1 minute, you degenerate, man. Yeah, that's just.
Love a good 1 minute reaction.
Yeah, I think you'd probably be looking sort of down here, wouldn't you? There's still a lot, like, look at those candles. There's still a lot of sell pressure on that.
Yeah, I'd have liked to ideally see the candles taking out the last sort of low high.
Oil the same. Gas is quite good to trade, I found. Like, if you want something a little bit more degenerate, like, this thing is moving in quite a nice range.
Yeah, it does look good. Is that a daily? Yeah. Some nice accumulation there on gas, ready to explode.
So you'd potentially, yes. So you'd potentially be looking down at, like, this box here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that looks good.
What's chocolate doing? I mean, daily's a bit messy. My chart's a bit messy. Like, this level is just like, the levels on this are just nuts. Like, that level, this box is just like where all the action seems to be.
It's like a perfect back test as well, isn't it? Do you find the back test works very well on stocks? I don't really.
Stocks are a little bit harder because you get so many gaps on stocks. Like, I mean, I had the back test on CoreWeave, but, like, I had to go for a back test on this because you've not got a whole lot of price action to work with. Because, like, that's the daily chart. And, like, when it started free falling here, you had to find somewhere where it would find a level.
Yeah.
What else have you got then for potential sort of back test from a stock perspective? You need something that's quite high. This is funny. You see this United Health. You've now got a back. You're now threatening to go and back test the COVID low.
What's United Health then? Which one's that?
So, do you remember the Do you remember the CEO who
Oh,
got popped in the back?
yeah. Is this the whole COVID mask thing, or am I thinking of someone else?
No, so it was quite recent. It was quite recent. So I think that happened like maybe I want to say like maybe sort of either here or here. Is you had there was a guy who had like had a claim dispute or something with them, and so he'd gone and he'd shot the CEO
Oh,
outside New
oh,
York,
was that this?
and then a new CEO came in, and the new CEO there was some dodgy stuff in the books, and so the new CEO resigned. I think like 2 or 3 weeks after taking
Right.
charge, which is where you got that, and then it's just continuing just to bleed out. Novo Nordisk yesterday, gosh, that's now back into that's now like fully retraced bad.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting one. So this was slower use of their Wegovy, so the weight loss
Yeah.
jabs.
Oh, is
But they've got earnings
this the
next week.
pharmaceuticals?
Yeah, so they've got earnings next week. What else do I have?
Surprised that's going
This
down
is
with all
quite
the
funny.
weight loss jabs that are.
I think there's just competition. So the other one that's
Mounjaro, isn't it? Is the main
is
big one.
yeah, but Eli Lilly do so Eli Lilly do the other ones. So
Was that?
Eli Lilly are really sort of putting pressure on, and I think you're seeing a lot of move from Novo Nordisk's Ozempic and Wegovy over to Eli Lilly, who I believe do the one beginning with N.
Mounjaro.
That's
Yeah.
the one. So you can see these guys are having this
See, it
floor.
pays to be fat, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like, what else do I have on the watch list? Oh, I'm short on this because I know a few people who were sort of very keen for this, and this was more sort of as a, I wouldn't say a bet, but there was a few people who were like saying, "Oh, this is the time to buy," and I looked and like this chart was just primed for a short. I didn't get it the first time round, but I got in on the retest here.
Very nice.
And this is like, they were all sort of saying, "Oh, should we open it?" Open as it like, as a chart. If this doesn't hold, you're going down here, and then if that doesn't hold, you're pretty much going down to $40 at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. You might be able to hold on to that short for a long time.
I know. I've already clipped a little bit of it because it was in quite a nice profit. I'm gonna hop off now, but really good to have you on. I'll be looking at some charts, but yeah, I'm ready for a bit of a nap. It's been that sort of day. It's a day out of the markets, but thank you so much, Jalapeno, for coming on. And
no worries, mate. Really enjoyed it.
Definitely, we'll get another one in. We'll get another one in soon, maybe next week.
Yeah, it's a pleasure as always.
Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and take care. Don't get wrecked, and we'll see where gold is and Bitcoin is next week.